for this day because I think she is one of the few people in my life who helped shape me to be the person I am today. I thank her so much. I'm grateful. And so I hope there was someone like that in your life or is currently. But did you know that you also have an inner mentor? An inner mentor. It's that inner voice that can also give you advice, that can also offer encouragement and support. It's valuable to get to know that inner voice, that inner mentor. It's important to learn to trust what your inner mentor is trying to tell you. So, for example, in Courage to Caregivers breathing and meditation sessions, we learn to trust the wisdom of our body and we learn to recognize the cues and the signals that our body gives when we're experiencing certain emotions or, just certain situations. We learn to become aware of what comes up. When you learn to listen to yourself and trust yourself, you can be assured that your inner mentor will always support you. And then once again, with breathing and meditation, the whole concept of going inward, leaving that outer world out there when we go inward and come to stillness, right? Also helps us to cue into that inner voice, that inner mentor that we hopefully eventually learn to listen to and trust. And that's one of the skills of meditation is that going inward. So just anyway, so much food for thought. I know you're going to get into things a lot more in your support groups, but really, really interesting concepts and things this week. So much to enjoy. And now we're going to get started with a little heart-focused breathing. We've been doing the heart-focused breathing for the past couple of weeks. And if you will remember, this is when we visualize breathing in and out of the heart rather than out of your nose. So that takes a little visualization there. But the idea is that when you breathe, when you think about breathing in and out of the heart and experiencing your emotions in your heart, you bring your brain and your heart into coherence, and so that balance between the brain and the heart allows your heart rate to slow down. You can actually control the rate of your heart when your stress level goes down. So the feeling that you gain when you breathe from the heart is we have you focus on something that you're grateful for. And as those feelings of gratitude kind of wash over you and you bask in them, as those gratitude feelings grow, then your heart rate goes down and then the brain and the heart come into coherence. So it's just really awesome. If you haven't already checked out the Heart Math Institute, that is something you can look up online and spend a little time there. They have a lot of meditations and there's so much science between this brain and heart connection. So I encourage you to look into this and to practice it because it's really, truly awesome. So let's get real super comfortable right now in your chair. And what I'd like you to do is uncross your legs if they're crossed, and then find your comfortable tall spine. And so maybe feet on the floor, maybe a pillow behind your back if you need that to bring your feet to the floor. And then just root your feet down into the earth beneath you. Let's roll those shoulders up to your ears and then let them settle and soften nice and easy so that there's no tension in your shoulders, okay? And then get the sensation that as you're sitting in your chair, you're also lifting through the crown of your head to keep that spine nice and tall, because what that does is it helps you to breathe more efficiently, okay? And then I invite you to close your eyes or to leave them softly cast down at a gazing point in front of you. And just start to come into stillness here. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, and breathing out. And right now we are still inhaling and exhaling through the nose. So just start to become aware of that breath as it is normally delivered. And then as you exhale in and out of your nose, your natural breathing rhythm. Good. And as you're breathing and you've got that good connection with your feet on the earth beneath you, feel that connection of your sitting bones in your chair. Just feel that that connection just rooting you down into the chair. And then become aware of the space around you, the space of the infinite, of the whole universe as it surrounds you tonight in your sanctuary. Good. And continue to breathe in and out of your nose, in and out, in and out. And then I invite you to place one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly as you continue to breathe, holding yourself in compassion here. Compassion for the good that you do every day to the benefit of so many others. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, and breathing out. And then we're going to begin to put a little count to our breath here. And this is going to be called 5-6 breathing, where we inhale for the count of 5 and we exhale for the count of 6. So the exhale is just a little bit longer. And the reason for this is when you exhale a little bit longer, that is what actually kickstarts the parasympathetic nervous system come into that rest, digest, and relaxation phase, which is where we all want to be tonight, right? So I invite you to count with me as we take a big inhale in for the count of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Very good. Let's try that again together. Inhaling mindfully. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And I'm going to invite you to continue to breathe the 5-6 breathing on your own, remembering to inhale for 5 and exhaling just a little longer for the count of 6. And when you exhale, make sure that you are letting that air out of your lungs nice and slowly, really letting it out as if letting the air out of a balloon, just really eking out that last little stream of air. And believe me, it will just really bring your stress levels down. So continue to do that to the count of 5 and exhale to the count of 6, mindfully breathing, knowing that you're doing something really good for your body and your mind today. And as you breathe, focus your attention on the area around your heart. Let go of whatever you've been thinking or doing that has brought you to this stressful state of mind. Pretend now that your breath is flowing in and out of your very heart. And as you breathe in an attitude of calm and balance. Breathe out any negative feelings. So breathing in calm and breathing out negative thoughts. And as you breathe, be aware of your breath slowing down. Be aware of a feeling of ease as you settle into this pattern. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, and breathing out. Now focus on someone or something in your life that you feel deep appreciation for, deep gratitude. And as you shift into this place, notice when you feel the release. Think of someone who supports you, someone whom you're grateful for. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Now feel the regenerative power of the gratitude wash over you. Know that negative emotions have been replaced by positive ones. Continue to bask in this feeling as you continue to breathe from the heart. And as you do, I will read our affirmations for today. Learning from the experience of a mentor, I know others have walked this path before. I'm not alone. My inner mentor is my older, wiser, and stronger that I access for guidance. When I learn the language of my body, I have a valuable resource for making important decisions. Continue to breathe for several more mindful breaths, breathing in, breathing out from that heart space, breathing in and breathing out. And then as that feels complete, you can return your hands to your lap and slowly and gently open your eyes. Good. Well, I hope everybody has felt their heart rate just drop down a little bit with that exercise. Know that you can access that at any time, day or night. If you cannot fall asleep, that's a great way to get back to sleep. If you are in a stressful, tense situation during the day, that heart focused breathing is really one that always does seem to work for most people. So check it out. And now we will start a little chair yoga. So I invite you once again to find your comfortable seat in your chair. I'm going to move mine back just a little bit. And we are going to do some sun breaths. And sun breaths are part of the sun salutations. It's the very opening part of the sun salutations. And the purpose of the sun salutations is to connect with the rising sun. And the yogis of ancient times realized that there's a sun in the sky, but there's also a sun inside of us. So we're going to connect with that inner sun, that inner self right now. So sitting up nice and straight and tall, I invite you to inhale in and bring your arms way up overhead, touching your palms. And then exhale, turning the palms to face away, pressing that air down. Great. Spine is nice and long. Inhaling in, arms come up, reaching for that sun. Exhale, pushing the palms to face away. Exhaling all the way down. Good. Inhaling in once again, expanding heart, expanding chest, opening up. And exhale, breathing out, softening any tension in the body. And I invite you to continue this for about 5 more times, taking these sun breaths to your own pace and to the rhythm of your own breath. Breathing in on your own and breathing out on your own, just inviting the expansion, inviting the breath, and inviting that energy of the sun, even though it's like 6:30 at night. The sun is still there because you all are your own lights, because I can see it, I can feel it. Good. Excellent. And when you finish your rounds of sun breaths, just come back to stillness in your chair. And let's roll those shoulders up to the ears one more time. Very good. And I'm going to move my chair completely out of the way here so that we can come into star pose. We've also been doing this the last couple weeks. So star pose is you're coming into a wide-legged stance here, so your feet are more than a hip's distance apart. They're pretty wide, and your feet are parallel to one another. And in this position, You're lifting through the crown of your head. Your chest is expanding. Your shoulders are back. Your heart is open. And then you're going to bring your arms out to the sides, palms facing forward in a 5-pointed star. And just feel yourself lifting, growing, opening up to all possibilities. Right here, right now, in this present moment. Beautiful. Maybe take a few mindful breaths here in star pose. Lovely. Very good. Beautiful. And then you can step your feet back together. And I'm going to talk a little bit about something called power standing. There is a woman named Amy Cuddy. She is a social psychologist, and she gives a wonderful TED talk on power standing. Power standing is the concept that you can convey a position of assertiveness, confidence, and capability by just standing in a certain posture. And she takes this concept from the animal kingdom. You know, animals within their own species, there's a hierarchy, and there's a bit of being territorial with one another. And so animals, when they want to convey that they're in charge, they grow big. You know, they bring out their arms or their legs, or show the other member of their species who's boss. Right? They're not afraid to do that. And so, taking that same concept, Amy Cuddy says that if we stand in a power stance for about 2 minutes, that this can raise our testosterone levels, so that feeling of assertiveness comes forth, and then lower the stress hormone cortisol. So it's a really interesting thing. I invite you to take a look at her TED Talks, or you can watch them or listen to them, but she's a very dynamic speaker, and I think what she has to say is super important when it comes to saying no and standing up for yourself. So we're going to come into this posture. And what we're going to do is, again, take that wide-legged stance here, wide-legged stance. Feet are parallel to one another. Chest open, heart open, shoulders back. So feel that shoulder blade connection. And then bring your hands to your hips. And this is, also the Wonder Woman pose. If any of you remember Wonder Woman from the old days, I guess there's Wonder Woman movies now, but ladies, I remember Wonder Woman when her name was Linda Carter, and she had a weekly TV show. And it was one of my favorite shows when I was a kid. So anyway, when she stood like this, everyone around her knew that Wonder Woman meant business. And so stand here for a few minutes, maybe close your eyes, and think about how it makes you feel to stand in this manner and to convey that you are the boss in a good way. Power standing. I like to call it empowerment standing. I think that's even more effective. So just take a couple mindful breaths here. And what Amy says is that you can do this power standing. Let's say you have an important event coming up, like you're giving a presentation or a speech, or maybe you have a job interview, or let's say you have to have a difficult conversation with someone that you know ahead of time is not going to be easy. You take this power stance for 2 minutes before you have to go meet with this person, and you've already got your hormones where you need them to be, so that you are going to be in charge and in control of your emotions. So I think that's what she's trying to convey here, that it's a good thing for all of us to remember, and especially when we might be encountered with, someone maybe putting a little too much on our plate than we need at the time, and we need to be assertive and say no. So maybe if we do this before we have to have a conversation with someone about that, this will kind of get our body and brain and spirit into the same place, into a place of balance. Okay. Good, good, good. Okay, let's return to the chair for one last experience here. And just find your comfortable seat once again. And then I talked a little bit about the embodied experience of yes and no. So an embodied experience is when you feel it actually in your body, right? And so we're going to talk about the embodied experience of yes and no. So come into what I would call a seated mountain, where your feet are on the floor, shoulders back, lifting through your crown, and your arms are down at your side with the palms facing forward. Okay, so it's like mountain pose standing, but you're seated, feet rooting into the ground. And then as you do that, I'm going to ask you to, a few questions or just to think about a couple things. So close your eyes or leave them in a soft gaze, if you would. And as you are seated in this mountain pose, think of something that you enjoy saying yes to. And I'll give you a couple of examples. Maybe this will sort of bring up this feeling of yes in your body. Your favorite meal. And the best part about it is that someone has prepared your favorite meal for you. Time spent with someone close to you, someone you enjoy being with. See their face. Just see their face right now. Or think about a favorite vacation spot. So all these things that I have mentioned, experience how that feels in your body. Think about that for a moment when we are given something favorable to think about, or something affirmative to think about, a place that we want to go to in our minds. What does that feel like in your body? What cues does your body give in this present moment? And just a couple breaths dwell in that yes space. And now conversely, think about something that brings a negative or no feeling into your space. For example, your least favorite food on the planet, the one that your mother made you eat when you were little and you really didn't like it. So think about that. My mom used to make liver. It was a big downer. I can tell you right now, we used to run from the house and scream. Or think about your least favorite activity, either known or unknown. I know for me, riding on a roller coaster makes me feel real panicked. So think about your least favorite thing to do. And think about how your body reacts when we say yes to something, but we really know that we really should have said no, because our body is starting to give off cues that that wasn't a good idea. So experience what that negative feels like in your body. And what cues is your body giving you as to that effect in this moment, that no feeling. Couple more breaths. And now you can slowly open your eyes and come back to this present moment. So that's only scratching the surface about that whole embodied yes and no experience. But, in yoga, we always, in breathing meditation as well, we always go back to that idea of your body being the best indicator about what's really going on up here in the head and here in the heart. So what you're thinking, what your emotions are, your body's always going to let you know where you stand. So learn to trust it. It's wise. It will never steer you wrong. Okay? And now I invite you to find your comforts for our final rest for this evening. Maybe bringing yourself to a mat on the floor, or a blanket, or your couch, whatever is nearby, if you'd like to stretch out nice and long. If you'd like to be sitting in your chair, just make sure that your weight is evenly distributed so that you're not leaning to either side. Your body is nice and comfortable. Or if you're lying down and you want to bring your calves and your heels to the back of a chair, or to the seat of the chair rather, so your knees are bent and the back of your legs are up on the chair, that's a wonderful posture as well. And then I just invite you to find yourself sinking down into your space. If you're on the ground, feeling the earth beneath you support you, and finding your closed eyes or a soft gaze. And then just starting to let all the tension in your body drift away. Drift away as you find your breath once again. Inhaling in and inhaling out. Just connect to that breath that is always with you. Inhaling in and inhaling out. And now take a few deep breaths to relax all the muscles around your eyes. And release your jaw. Let your cheeks feel heavy and notice your breath as you inhale and exhale. Imagine your body is a body of water, a calm lake. As you take a breath in and release out, just notice the soft current in that body of water. Let each exhale carry some tension and stress away. And again, with another out breath, just let any tension or stress float away. Just let it float away like a little leaf meandering down a stream. Now bring your attention to your feet and notice if you're carrying any tightness or stress in your feet. And if so, just soften there and let it out. Let a soft heaviness come into your feet. And move your attention to your calves, your shins, and relax that area, sending some breath there to loosen it up. Find a softening around your knees, breathing in and out and relaxing more deeply. Now move your attention upward, releasing your quads and upper legs. Imagine any tension that's there seeping away. Then as you take your next inhale, imagine your breath moving into your hips, into your pelvic area, and opening it up. As you exhale, let any stress and tension melt away. Let your belly fully release. Relax your torso and your chest. Let any stress seep out of it. Now move your attention to your upper back and your shoulders. And let any tension melt right off and down your back and soften your neck, your jaw, and your tongue. Relax your brow, your third eye, and let go of any tension you might be holding there. Release your upper arms, your lower arms, and your hands. Now bring your attention to that third eye between your eyebrows and just a little notch higher. And notice a beam of light stretching out from that point in your forehead. Notice if that beam of light has a color or a set of colors in it. Notice the quality of that light. Notice that that beam of light stretches all the way up and out of the room that you're in, out and above through the ceiling. Notice that it actually stretches all the way out of your house and shines out into the sky. Now, I invite you to start to travel along this beam of light. Start to imagine floating up and just let yourself walk along that beam out of the room where you are, following that beam upward. Allow that beam to take you higher and higher. Notice your house getting smaller in your view. As you travel, notice the beauty of the sky as you move through the clouds. Start to see the view of your city or town below you. As you travel faster and higher, start to see the whole region where you were beneath you. Move up and up until you can see the beautiful globe of blue and green and white. Enjoy the view. Travel upward and upward until you're in blue-black space, silently, velvety, and dark. Notice that there is another beam next to the one that you are standing on, another beam of light. Notice what color and quality that beam is. Notice that this beam stretches all the way back down towards Earth. Notice that this beam stretches down towards Earth 20 years into the future, 20 years from now. Go ahead and step onto that beam and let it gracefully carry you down. Notice Earth coming into focus again, the contour starting to get clearer and larger in your view. Enjoy passing through the clouds again as you make your way down. As you begin to get closer to the earth, start to notice that you are going to the home or the dwelling place of your future self, yourself 20 years from now. Start to notice that the beam is taking you to meet that future self. Notice what part of the world you are in. Continue riding the beam down, enjoying the view below. Follow it all the way until it takes you to the outside of the dwelling place of your future self and drops you off right there. Take a look around. What kind of place is this? What is it like there? What does it feel like? Look around at the outside. Then notice there is a house, a dwelling place, and make your way to the door. As you approach the door, see that your future self is coming to the door to warmly greet you and welcome you, and take in her presence and face. Let her invite you inside. Notice what the inside of her house is like. Notice as she offers you something to drink and something to eat. She brings you to one of her favorite spots in the house for a little chat. She is present and ready to share with you and listen. Ask her what has mattered to her over the past 20 years. She may answer you in words, or just with a feeling or a facial expression or an image. Listen to what she has to say. Ask her, what do I need to know to get from where I am to where you are? What do I need to know to get from where I am to where you are? Listen to her answer. Again, the answer may be in words or just with a facial expression or by giving you a certain feeling. Ask her, what will help me to sing my true song? Listen to her answers. Let the answers surprise you. Now go ahead and ask your future self anything that you would like to ask, big or small. You can ask about a dilemma or a tough situation or anything else in your life that you'd like to hear about and that you would like her perspective on. You can ask, what is your true name other than your given name? What name are you called by? Be open to whatever surprising name shows up first here. It may make sense to you or not. Now bring your visit with her to a close, knowing you can come back and visit anytime. Thank her for the wisdom and guidance that was offered to you. Notice as you are bringing your conversation to a close that she has a parting gift that she's very excited to give you. And let her bring that gift to you now. Make your way out of the house and find your way back to the beam that brought you there. Go ahead and step onto the beam and let it carry you upward again. You can watch her home getting smaller and smaller beneath you as you move through the clouds all the way up through that dark blue-black space. Notice that next to the beam you're standing on, there's another beam, the original one that you traveled on. Step onto that beam and start to travel back down to earth in the present time. As you travel downward, start to see earth coming into focus below you. See the landscape of your part of the world, your country, your region. See your city or town from a bird's eye view. Follow that beam all the way back down into the room where you began your journey. Feel the support of the chair or the floor beneath you. And continue to rest in this support for a few more minutes. Rest well. Rest well, your generous, caregiving heart. Rest well. Very, very gently and slowly and with care, begin to bring a little movement back to your body as you awaken to the present moment. Maybe wiggling fingers and toes, maybe gathering your knees and bringing them to your chest to give yourself one final hug of self compassion. And I invite you to just stay in your space while I read a closing quotation. So if you're lying down, just maybe take another full body stretch, or maybe just roll to one side, making a little pillow for your head with your elbow. Just stay in that comfortable space to allow that inner world to be with you for just a little while longer. This is a quote from Oprah Winfrey. A mentor is someone who allows you to know that no matter how dark the night, in the morning, the joy will come. A mentor is someone who allows you to see the higher part of yourself when sometimes it becomes hidden to your own view. And then one last quote from Mariella Daba. She says, "A great mentor helps you achieve what seems impossible." And then when you feel ready, you can press yourself back up into a seated position, comfortable in your chair. Good. Well, I hope everyone feels just a tiny bit more relaxed than when you began tonight, and that you will remember to continue to listen to that inner voice because it will not steer you wrong. That inner mentor, that future self that is always guiding you, that is always with you. She's just like the breath, she's there to support you. And so I invite you to raise your arms up overhead into one more sun breath. And then we bring our hands to heart center. The light in me honors and recognizes the light in every single one of you. And we share that greeting, Namaste.